for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is TD from TD Fans Talk, home of the real baby Dolphins. What's going on? I'm just letting y'all know, y'all the first. The few people that's in here right now, y'all the first ones I'm announcing this to. I'm about to start a YouTube creator beef so we can make these millions. I'm about to start some diss tracks. I'm about to start these, Miami Dolphin diss tracks out here. Who getting it first? Who getting it first? Oh man, let me turn this filter off. I'm looking like Shannon Sharp again. Yeah, boy, ooh, let me see what it is all the way on. I'll see that much of it. Yeah. Well, I might crap grayed out where I can't change it. There we go. There go the raw face. There we go. There go. Blemishes. All right, man. I'm just saying. Hey, I might have me. All right, we good. Yeah, man. Your boy about to start a beef out here, man. Who won it first? Who won it first? Man, we should have get paid in the Dolphin community. Who won it first? Brian Flores first? No, I'm talking about other creators. I'm about to tweet Doug right now, man. You want to start a YouTube battle? Be like, hey, they been waiting on it, Doug. They been waiting on it. Nah, man. Listen, we're gonna talk about OBJ, and then we're gonna talk about the whole Drake Kendrick thing. Let me say this. The only reason why I actually don't talk about other stuff like this typically on this channel, the only reason I am is because I got people all in my DMs saying, "Hey, what you think about this and that?" I'm like, "But we're gonna talk about it. I'll give you my honest thoughts about the whole thing." And I've been thinking about it ever since I said, "Hey, I'll talk about it live a little bit if people want me to." But then I start thinking, how do I feel about the whole thing? And then, I really was thinking really deep in depth, and I got a lot to actually say. A lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of this, a lot of that. I got a lot to actually say. TD, fix the sound on your audio. Is it bad or something? I got.
My bad. Can y'all hear me now? I had the wrong thing on. Can y'all hear me just fine now? Man, let me go back and listen to what I sound like. Yo, I sound crazy. All right, man. We should be good now, right? We sound normal right now. My bad, y'all. Dang, I started the stream like that. Man, I gotta figure out these sounds on my soundboard because it got some crazy sounds, man. Um, it's LOL, it's worse. How, man? Nah, I sound normal now. I'm good. Um, all right. All right, so quick update, let y'all know about my week because I haven't been live since what last Sunday or Saturday or something like that. Um, we got in a car accident this week, my family. It's crazy because a long time ago we had gotten a whole bunch of them, but we ain't had gotten no accident in a long time. But we got in a car accident earlier this week. Been dealing with that whole thing. Um, my son, both sons were sick. One had an ear infection. It always happened when we go to the pool, so we got to start using earplugs. And little, viral infection been going through the house. So I ain't start feeling it until 2 days ago, but I've been dealing with the kids and everything. Everybody's good. But me and Cammy, like I'm on like the middle, maybe back end. I'm hoping back end of whatever's been bothering me outside of my body hurting from the accident, dealing with that crap, man. But yeah, man, it's just been a long week. So I really focused on just taking care of the obligations I had with Bleacher Report and BetUS TV The Huddle. That's been the focus, and that's why I haven't been live. Um, OBJ, y'all know I would have been live right away, but Bleacher Report hit me up. Hey, can you hit one for us? I took care of it, but I ain't been feeling my best. Um, Woke up, 3 a.m. this morning because my daughter just finished her first year of college. So I had to drive up to school, move her out, all her stuff out of the dorm and stuff. Um, and then take the long drive back and stuff. So I just been hectic. I've been up since 3 this morning. I ain't go to sleep till like 12 last night. So you get it. I just got home not too long ago, but I said, man, let me go live. You know, Mikey said you guys are always six. I mean, bro, I had 6 kids. We're a family of 8. When my daughter's in college, but when everybody's here, we're a family of 8, bro. So sometimes it do feel like somebody's sick all the time. So yeah, that's how it works. And then you talk about kids, you talk about kids, babies too, so yeah, that's just how it works, man. Um, but yeah. Anyway, I'm live now. Give you my thoughts on OBJ. Um, Excellent move by the Miami Dolphins. I think that, even though we brought Malik Washington in to be the number 3, you can never have enough. I told you guys I didn't think that we'd actually get OBJ because of the price, but the Miami Dolphins landed the man for $3 million with incentives, of course. But he landed the man for $3 million. It's huge. I think that he's really going to help the team. I think, he don't need to be a number 1 nor number 2. But we got 2 guys now that can move into the number 2 role if necessary, in Malik Washington and Odell Beckham. I know I was joking on Twitter, about, that one-handed catch he caught, that the best catch of his career. I said now he's going to be catching them with his feet with the underthrown balls, but the reality of that was a troll, that was a joke, but the reality of that, he can make some catches, some tough catches, and that's what you need. Somebody said I thought it was 8.5 million. No, it's 3 million, and it can get as high as 8.5 million if he reaches his incentives. So that's a huge deal for the Miami Dolphins. Huge deal for the Miami Dolphins. So if he reaches his incentives, that means we had a very productive OBJ. We got every penny worth. If he doesn't, he's only a $3 million cap hit. So I like the move. Again, the team has a lot more things that it needs to, work through at the end of the day. But I think it's an excellent move for the Dolphins. All this talk about, oh, he's washed and this and that and this. None of that matters. You got it for $3 million. Anything anybody has something bad to say about OBJ, at the end of the day, you got him for $3 million. So none of that matters. You're just hoping you can. I'll take what he did in Baltimore last year any day of the week. I'll take that any day of the week. So I'm just fine with it. I love it. Shout out to Ravens Talk with Yolanda. Y'all make sure y'all go check her out, man. Listen, let me put her on the screen so y'all know. I always love female podcasts. Think we need a whole lot more of them out here. Man like Ryan, Drake over. Okay, not over, but Drake greater. Okay. We'll get into that in a second. We'll get into that, bro. We definitely about to get into that. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all go check Ravens Talk with Yolanda out. Show us some love, show us some support. Click on the avatar, go subscribe to the channel, show her love. All right. But yeah, what he did in Baltimore was coming off an ACL tear. Yeah, I agree. You know, like I said before, man, it's a win for the Dolphins. I think he can help this team and he can make some big plays. I mean, who would you rather, quote unquote, washed up Odell or Cedric Wilson Jr.? Stop playing with me. I take Odell all day. Okay, because at least I know the potential is there of good things. You know, the one thing I'll tell you is ballers ball. No matter how old you are, you may slow down, you may not be the same, but ballers make plays. Even if it's less and less, you still can count on a play being made here and there. And he did it for Baltimore last year. So yeah, absolutely. Ravens Talk with Yolanda said, my husband is a Dolphin fan, so I'm always around the Dolphins fan base. Salute to him. Tell him fans up. We appreciate him. And tell him, we sorry to hear that, he married a Ravens fan. That's just a little honest jab. Nothing insulting. All right. Yeah. Anyway, man, listen, that's my take on the OBJ thing. It ain't really. Let's just see how it works out in the regular season. I'm starting to get over my reaction being so crazy with the Dolphins, because now it's about let's wait for the end result. Let's wait for the end result. It's that simple for me. All right. Last thing, as far as football, listen, man, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Okay. I cannot wait until this schedule release. I just want to see how this schedule line up. That's what I'm waiting on. This schedule release. It's going to tell us a lot, but I'm here for it. Okay. Next week, when the schedule release, I'm probably going to do a late night stream, or I might let it simmer for 2 or 3 days and do one on the weekend or something. But yeah, I can't wait. All right. All right, man. I know some of y'all waiting on me to talk about this Drake Kendrick thing, man. So since I was up at 3 this morning and hit the road to go pick my daughter up from college, since everybody was going crazy on Twitter of the new drops and stuff, I've been kind of removed away from. I haven't been removed. I know what's been going on, but I've been removed from these guys. So what I did is I went back and I did my research, and while I was on the road, so I went back to the beginning. I went to the origin, why it all started, all that crazy stuff, and then I listened to when the battle started, and I listened to all the tracks, like from months ago, everything. I went back and I went one for one. And when the battle officially started, not all the subliminals and all of that, when the subliminals ended, and we went to, okay, it's me and you, let's go. I focused on that. All the early stuff, subliminals, there ain't no score for that. That's subliminal talking, this and that and this, jabs here and there, quick little hint mentions and all of that stuff. Ain't no score for that. Like a month ago or whenever it started, the real, okay, it's me and you, that's when the scores started. Okay. The only reason I'm saying that because I'm a person that appreciates the art of hip hop, rap, because they are two different things, by the way. Rap, hip hop, battle rap, beef, all of that, all that. All right. I appreciate the art. Okay. So what I mean by that is I had to learn in my life that it's not just about what they say, how bad or how good it is. It's how they say it, and the creativity and the art is what I appreciate. Um, um, Somebody said, TD, you're not a hip hop, you're not a hip hop analyst. I'm not. I'm not a hip hop analyst because if I was a hip hop analyst, I'd be listening to hip hop all day, analyzing it all day. I don't listen to hip hop all day and analyze it all day. I listen to very minimal hip hop at this point in my life. 7 years ago and earlier, I listened to tons of rap and hip hop, but at this point in my life, I don't listen to it as much. But I'm fully in tune with what's going on in this situation now. And every single one of us that have an opinion on this matter, you are an analyst, even if it's just for a day, even if it's for a month, even if it's for the 30 minutes that you're breaking down what you're hearing. You're an analyst. Okay. Now, professional analysts, 99.9% of the people who are responding on it or giving their take on it or their opinion aren't. Okay. But we all have our opinions. This whole Drake and Kendrick thing, I guess I come with an unbiased lens on it because although my favorite artist, in which I hate the messages that he raps about all the time, but my favorite artist from an artist standpoint, the art of what he's doing and how he's doing it has always been Wayne. And I've never been a fan of Drake. When he signed Drake and they were all Young Money and all that, I've actually never been a fan of Drake. I've never really liked Drake. Not that I dislike him. I like some of the music. I love the music. Even though I'm not into the music to where I'm listening to every song of his and knowing the lyrics. No, I've never been a fan of Drake like that. Drake never moved me because honestly, from a bias standpoint, I never cared to be moved by him. Let me see what he about. Didn't really care. So when I say that I'm a fan of Wayne, people would think that, oh, well, I'm a Drake fan. No, not at all. Kendrick Lamar, same bubble to me. I've never cared to even really care for Kendrick Lamar. I know that he's a really good lyricist. I've heard his stuff at the end of the day. But I never, and it's not that I'm missing. Well, I've just not been a fan of either of these guys from a standpoint of I'm going to listen to every track they drop. It's like, oh, Kendrick, okay, he doing his thing. Drake, oh, he been doing his thing. Okay. So I say all that to say this. I was able to come into this situation caring less about either guy and listening to what was going on, hearing each drop one by one and coming up with my thoughts on it. What I think is going on right now, who I think is winning and all of that crazy stuff. So yeah, I guess that's where we could start from giving my opinion on this. Somebody said I'm muted. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. This talk making me feel old. I mean, that's the reality. I'm 39, bro. I'm 39. Like, I'm coming to that realization now that, hey, but let me ask you this. Let me see. How old is Kendrick Lamar? How old is Drake? Let me verify. Kendrick Lamar age. He 36. So you ain't got to feel that old. We talking about people that's our time. This is what I'm saying. You ain't gotta feel old. Well, at least my time. I'm 39. Drake may be a little younger. I don't know. 37, he older. It's us. So it doesn't matter. It is us. They don't make us feel old. It's just they're pulling the young generation into this beef right now, which is genius in my opinion. It's genius in my opinion. Okay. They both are eating from this. They both are making tons of money from this. Like, people need to understand that they are both making a lot of money for this. Oh, I told y'all I'm about to start this Dolphin diss track beef. Tell me what creator you want me to go get first. I'm telling you. Ooh, who wants some? What? Man, but listen, 37 and 36, you ain't got to feel old. If you feel old in around that age, then this is the old head fight then. Listen, but all right, so let me dive in and tell y'all what I think about this, okay? First, this is great for hip hop. This is excellent for hip hop because there's good and bads about all of this. There's good and bad about all this, okay? TD ain't got no ghostwriter. They don't be. Hey, listen, your boy ain't got no ghostwriter. See, I give you bars now to prove it, but no, I need that. You got to cut that check. All right. But he said, make a poll. Y'all want me to make a poll? Drake or Kendrick? Who winning? I'll make a poll. I'll put a poll up. It ain't gonna skew my opinion of it. Because I'm coming from an unbiased lens, and then I could break it down from start to finish. Why? Let me put the poll up since y'all asking. Poll: Kendrick or Drake. Now, I already know some of my haters or some of y'all who can't stomach these chill conversations. Bro, I don't want to hear about that. I just want to hear about Dolphins. Remember, I'm not a Miami Dolphins news channel. I am a Miami Dolphins fan channel. Okay. Then I break down the Miami Dolphins to give you my opinions on it. And I like to come chill sometimes and have conversations that people like to talk about too. So just FYI, you don't have to be disgruntled. You don't have to be mean to me. This is a rare situation. So just exit and come back next time. And it won't be this, I'm pretty sure. It'll be Dolphins. Okay. Just FYI. All right. Oh, I put yes or no. Oh my gosh. I put yes or no in the poll. My bad, man. I told you I woke up 3 a.m. All right. Kendrick. Wait, let me just put who's winning? K dot Drake. All right. TD versus CB83. All right. Hey, where he at? He in here? Boy, hey, I'll do a freestyle to start this thing up. Nah, all right. So fill out the poll in the chat and we're gonna go. Okay, we're gonna talk about it. Now, listen. I would ask y'all to hear me out on everything before you be like these simple-minded people out here getting mad because somebody disagree with their opinion. If I tell you why Drake is losing, get out your feelings. If I tell you why Kendrick is losing, get out your feelings. At least hear the logic behind it and then disagree afterwards. Okay? That's fair. Put yeses in the chat because I ain't got time to be going back and forth. We'll do the back and forth after I give you my analysis of it. And then you could give me reasons why, and I could tell you, oh, I ain't think about that, or I could tell you why it matters or don't matter. All right. Is that fair? I'm going to be honest. The most frustrating thing in society today is when you got something stuck in your mind and you're not open to hearing a logical reason why it may be off. That's what's destroying society. People, once they lock in a answer, they don't want no evidence or perspective that could change it. Like literally, that's like, oh man, I ain't think about it that way. Okay. But yeah, That's where we're gonna be with this. So let's do this. All right. So first and foremost, like I said, hip hop is winning big time. Okay. Second off, they're making a lot of money doing this. So whether you want to be mad at hate on one or the other, they both winning. Let's get that straight. And what I'm doing right now is trying to soften some people's stance, because the problem is I think there's an unfair bias in this whole battle from what I gather. Okay. They're both winning. So no matter who you rooting against, they're both winning. Okay? That's the so make sure you understand that. Tons of money is being made. None of them are mad, even though they got their own personal beef. What I also will say is I like and dislike this battle, and here's what I like about it, then I'll tell you what I dislike about it. I love this battle because at least so far, no matter how much they crossing the line, which goes into the don't like part, they're keeping it on the records. I haven't heard any "I'm going to do this to you" that didn't sound as a lyric. Like, you know how normal beefs always get out of control when I see you and I'm gonna do this and my people gonna pull up and all of that stuff. I'm not hearing that. And any insinuation of it is just from a lyric standpoint, not feeling like it's going to truly be acted out. So I can tell you that I respect that from these guys. Okay. What I don't like is they both crossing the line. Now, it's all goose for the gander. Hey, one cross the line, the other cross it. All of that's fair game if they all cool with it. Bringing the kids in it, in my opinion, is crossing the line. Hear me out on this. Not because both of them are good with it and they going back and forth. Oh, you want to bring the kids in? Let's go. But ain't nobody thinking about the kids. Ain't nobody thinking about the kids. So, wife and kids. No, just kids. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not including wife in a little bit in my analysis. I'm just talking about the kids. I'm not including wife because something may be wrong there anyway. But the kid, nobody think about the kids. So I'm going to dive in by saying this. First of all, man, how do I? Okay. So first of all, let me say this before I even go there. And I'm looking at, wow, I just seen the chat right now, 74% Kendrick and 26% Drake. And I don't want to ruffle feathers. I asked y'all to hear me out on this, right? But you know, one of the issues that I'm noticing in the communities, because I'm reading the comment sections of these threads on Twitter and everywhere about it. I'm reading the comment sections of the drops on both sides, right? I'm not letting them skew my opinion, but I'm trying to see the behavior because I was making an assumption, but the comment section confirmed the assumption. The truth of the matter is, in this battle, Drake is operating at a disadvantage. And let me tell you the disadvantage he has of being on top longer than anybody. He's operating at a disadvantage of being on top of the game longer than anybody. And again, I'm not saying that as a Drake fan. I can care less. I don't care for Drake. But what I'm seeing is he's being a victim of being on the top of the game longer than anybody. So what happens is if Drake has 40% of the game on lock, fans that are all out there, what's happening is Kendrick's 30% fans that's available. That group, those people over there, 10% fans that's available. Like everybody want to see Drake fall. Everybody wants to see his demise. And this is common. Everybody want to take down Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying he Patrick Mahomes. Like I said, I don't care for him, but whether I don't like him or not, he's been at the top of the game longer than anybody you know. And at some point, people want him to fall. We're addicted to seeing some of the greatest people fall. Like sometimes this sickness in us, and I'm being honest, I don't know what it is. I'm not judging anybody. But we get thrills off of it. But sometimes it's also transformed through us as the little man beating Goliath. David, you see what I'm saying? Like beating the giant. We want that. And when you have a history of Drake and Meek Mill and how he did him and all this and that, it's like, yeah, somebody got to take this dude down. Somebody got to take him down. So he's been operating at a disadvantage from that standpoint. He has another disadvantage in all of this. It hasn't been 1 versus 1. That's the truth too. Drake has been battling on all fronts. K-Dot is the main person in front of him, but shots coming from everywhere and he trying to handle them all. That's what I'm getting from all of this when I went and listened non-biasedly. He's getting shots from every direction because somebody got to take this man down. Somebody got to take this man down. That's the sentiment. And Kendrick Lamar said it in his record. Notice I didn't just say me. A lot of people feel this way about a lot of stuff. Technically, you just admitted his disadvantage. That a lot of people want to see him taken down. So you got to pause and don't just let that fly over your head. And you got to ask yourself, why? Why does everybody want to see him taken down? Why do y'all think? Put it in the chat. What's some of the reasons y'all think everybody want to see him taken down? Defeated. Jetted Out said Drake just being exposed for fraud and like the Dolphins. Well, we'll talk about it. Because the truth of the matter is, I'm confused about a lot of narratives out here because once again, going into it unbiased, I'm looking at both sides and I'm hearing what they're saying. And it's going to be this conversation, I guess, might actually get more interesting than I thought it would because there's a lot of questions I need to ask y'all with some of these narratives. All right. But did anybody answer the question? Why is everybody trying to take Drake down? Okay, somebody said predator grooming teenagers. Where we get that from? And I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm trying to so we're gonna work through a lot of this real quick. Where are we getting that from? The never-ending story ever told said Family Matters and Meet the Grahams make Hit 'em Up and Ether. My 2 favorite diss tracks look more benign in comparison regarding the element of character assassination. We definitely gonna get into all of this. All right. So somebody tell me in the chat, where are you getting the grooming and the where you getting that from? Somebody got to give that answer because what I don't want to do is recapping narratives. We want to put it in a category of true or false. So where you getting it from? For those who are saying that's what he is, and I'm not saying he not, but help me so that I can better understand what's going on. Where are we getting that from? But your answer can't be because Kendrick said it. False narratives, TD. Well, I'm giving people an opportunity to tell us. Maybe it's not. Drake be posting with his head on a 16-year-old chest with a kissy face only to take her on a date right after 18th birthday. Okay. If that's actually out there, I could see how someone can insinuate or see a connection there. But I'm trying to get at, so that's the grooming part, but the pedo, whatever y'all saying part, is there any he did actually whatever with anybody under 18? I haven't seen anything. Okay. Now, him knowing somebody at a younger age and then when they're 18, taking them on a date. First of all, let me start by saying this, okay? I think what people need to understand in this whole thing is Drake is a man who accepts how he lives his life. What do we know about how he lives his life? It ain't that much different than how Lil Wayne lives his life. 99% of the rappers, 99%, which is that I'm not a fan of. They objectify our women. They place no value on our women. They admittedly enjoy women without any commitment. And I don't have to keep going, but you know where I'm going. This isn't a secret. This isn't a secret, right? Now let's go on the flip side of that. They also deal with a lot of women that want to be objectified, are okay being in the positions that they put themselves in, because this is a part of a subset of certain culture. We don't demonize it when we hear it in the lyrics. Oh, I just did this to that and that and that. We don't demonize it. But we want to have a moral compass or try to say, yeah, when another rapper's battling him, saying that's what he's doing, like he's been hiding that or something. Like we don't already know every single night there may be a different whatever. Is that what's happening here? Now it's hurting him that you're exposing something that he put right in your face forever just about. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to make those things make sense. So I'm not saying and I don't believe that it's a good thing at all for a person to do. But we're gonna make it seem like, oh, it's breaking news. Drake is out here using them and throwing them, don't care about them. Oh my gosh, Kendrick just said that's what he does. Is that what we're doing? So I say all that to say this. When I hear a bar like that, that don't go on the score sheet. When I hear a bar like that, it doesn't go on my score sheet. Tell me something I don't know, or tell me something I do know in the most creative way you possibly can. That's how I look at it. That's how you're supposed to be judging battle. if that's what this is. I mean, it is. It's just on a whole different level. It's on a whole different level. So again, the narratives, I've heard a lot of them, and that's where I have a problem. Is that's where I kind of have a problem because of the narrative. I'm listening to what's real and what's a lie, or what's told as the truth that should have been presented as an opinion or someone said. You see what I'm saying? That's what you got to work through in these battles. First of all, you got to remove all the lies off rip. Anything you know unequivocally is a lie, you got to remove that from it. Oh, that was a tight bar. If it was a lie, you had to lie to make it. Don't count. Then you have to take the allegations and see if there's any substance to it. Okay? So again, it ain't no lie that Drake with women and how it works. I mean, and let's talk about this too. Yeah, I'm sure he is trying to meet up with every 18-year-old and all of that type of stuff that he possibly can, because how many times wealthy men have to tell you on camera that they prefer a younger person, whether you feel it's right or wrong. This is what they are doing, and it is 100% legal, whether I agree with it or not, which again, whether I agree with it or not. I'm not the biggest fan of it, I would say, but at the same token, it's legal. So people with money, males with money, this is what they do. This is what they do. So at the end of the day, when I hear stuff like that, it's not news to me. Okay. But making that from an exposure standpoint, exposing someone, that don't go on my scorecard. Okay. Now, going to another part of all of this, right? I got to get back to these kids. And the truth of the matter is, I guess, first of all, Drake started it with the family conversation. But here's an issue that I actually have with Kendrick and all of this, right? The kids issue, right? Because Drake started it. Drake talked about his family first. But if most of your tracks dissing Drake is going to take the high moral road, because I want y'all, because he calls Drake the master manipulator. But I'm seeing manipulation in Kendrick, and let me tell you why. I feel like lyrically he's manipulating people, taking the high road image of, being a great father, this and that and this, and not objectifying women, blah, blah, blah. If you're going to take the high road image and be the role model, the exemplary man, right? Then as soon as he talked about your family, you knew what it was going to. You leave it alone out of respect to all the kids involved. If you're going to be this high moral person, but then you clap back and no, you're not saying anything disrespectful about the kids, but you're talking to the kids, telling them about their father, who in this time may not be the greatest person or whatever it may be. But you know what you're doing, which when this boy does grow up, or alleged daughter, which we'll get to, they're going to see and hear all of this tenfold. So if you're going to be on this high moral road, you know the consequences to this, but you're taking the battle more serious than the high road. So that's a contradiction to me. Like your whole rap is about how you're insinuating you're the role model. So stop taking the high road approach and battle this dude. Because technically all he's doing is indirectly standing in his face, which Drake will probably use that as a joke because he's shorter. But all I'm seeing is Kendrick indirectly shooting at Drake. Indirectly, he got directs too, but indirectly, like your second drop was to his son, to the daughter, to the mother. At least Drake is taking it to your face, telling you about those people. I expect you to take it to Drake's face and tell about those people or what he should do, but don't speak to them. Like the damn it. Now people keep saying, but it's fair play. It's fair play. It's fair play. It is fair play. But how are we going to call it fair play when he's insinuating he's the high moral character here? You're the high moral character here. You're the one that does the right thing, make the right decisions, do the children right, and all of that. I get the fair play. But I can respect the fair play in doing that if you're not acting like the high character person. It is fair play, but don't act like the high character person, because that ain't great character regardless. I ain't for it, but I'm right there with you. You want to do exactly what you did, fine, but stop making it seem like you're like, maybe you should do this. This is what great people do, not what you like. Your son is a messed up person. What you're doing is messed up to them kids. Both of them, by the way. But stop with this high character persona when technically you know exactly what you're doing. That's all I'm saying. It is fair play. But stop putting on this high character, do right persona if you're going to play in this game. So that's where I'm at with that. Okay. But now, all that aside, it is creative. It is creative. I thought what both of them did on at least it's creative. I'll get to that. It's creative, like talking to the kids and all that from a fair play standpoint. Okay. The daughter. From my understanding, Drake has already denied it. This is why I said that we have to get into whatever's a lie you got to get rid of. The daughter situation, Drake denied it, but we don't know. So we're going to have to wait and see about that situation. And here's why. Because if it's not true, it could be a major L. And here's why I say that. Every time I hear Kendrick on a track coming at Drake, I'm not hearing anything new. I'm hearing the same disses recycled in different creative ways, which I do like. Give me what I already know in a new creative way, but I'm not hearing anything new. The daughter situation was a drop of something new. That was like, whoa, nobody knew that. But I'm hearing the same things over and over. The whole ab thing. I'm hearing the son, and moral characters bad. You're a bad person. You like young girl. That I'm hearing the same thing over and over again. Over and over. I'm not getting any whoa other than the daughter. But again, Drake has since said that if somebody please find this daughter he talking about, y'all boys in shambles. Basically saying that's a lie. Now, the only reason I'm not going to totally dismiss it is because last I remember, the son might have been the lie too, until it was actually true. But I got to give Drake credit on this. He said, if you ain't going to bring receipts to the table about the stuff you saying, where the receipts at? Because at the end of the day, we can't just be going off of what people say because it sound good and it make it seem like they winning. The truth of the matter is, every time somebody say Kendrick Lamar is winning, they're putting a bar that hasn't been proven. Something that hasn't been proven. That everybody's wondering if it's even true. So that's something that, hey, time will tell, because what happens in the dark comes to the light. And eventually we'll find out what's true and what's not. Okay. And if he does have a daughter, I don't know. I can't get into judging the situation if he has a daughter, and here's why. Because from my understanding, when he denied having a son, from my understanding, him and the son's mom wanted to keep it private. And it ended up coming out anyway. And when you're of his status and his celebrity, a lot of times some of these people out here, do not want their children in the public. And that's happening a lot more prevalently now. And the reason why is because a lot of these artists and athletes, they're having multiple children all around where they're okay with it. They don't need to commit to anybody. And they're just like, let's keep our children private to protect them. Don't know if that's the case. So don't have me here trying to make excuses. But I need to see if it's even true to begin with. And second off, if it is true, eventually we'll know what's the background to that. You know, it could be true and he's active. It's just you don't know, and everything. We don't know. It could be false. And there you have it. All of this was a bunch of hype. We have no idea. So we just got to wait to see what it is. Okay. But he has denied it. But we can't put too much merit in his denial because of the first situation. All right. Okay, I got it. What else? Now Drake made some bold accusations as well. And like I said, you can't throw Kendrick Lamar's daughter reference out because there's a little bit of, because of his past, you can't write it off, even though he's denied it. You can't write it off. You just got to put it in a corner to see if you can elevate it as a part of the scoring. Same thing with Drake and his allegations. I mean, same thing with Kendrick and his allegations of what Drake said about him with the domestic violence piece. Immediately when I heard that, I said, man, that's tough. That's tough to say that happened to somebody, right? Because we don't know. He could be lying or he could have heard it from somebody, right? But then when Drake said the line of, you've been engaged since 2015, it immediately make you say, what's going on? What's going on? And I just read that in the comment section. I saw that. The engagement ring on Drake's necklace, supposedly her engagement ring from you. I hope that was fake. Because I'm going to tell you now, if that was actually the engagement ring and that woman crying out, trying to get out or whatever it may be, and that domestic violence situation is true, I'm going to tell you now, Kendrick's done. You talk about somebody being a dad, you're talking about somebody and their shortcomings and how they, engage with women consensually, by the way. Now the grooming piece, that could be looked at, are you? Because that ain't good. But all the things you said and taking the moral high road, if that's true, beating up on him and he got her ring, we got to wait and see. So for me, I'm not saying it's true. But just like the other thing with the daughter, we got to wait and see. But I think that's going to come out a lot sooner. What's going on in that situation? Because everybody's wondering. Everybody wants an answer. Dang, engaged since 2015? What's going on? Everybody want to know what's going on. So I don't think that I'm going to be the guy who don't want to believe the worst. I'm going to say it didn't happen, even though I'm waiting to see. I'm going to say that ain't her ring. I'm going to say, I'm going to just hope none of that because it's not good for anybody. Okay. It was for real ring. Oh, okay. We'll see. Like I said, but if it was for real ring, now y'all gonna have to fill me in on that one thing though. because that's the only thing that puzzled me. Where does Pharrell fit in all of this? So y'all may know a little better than me. Y'all may know a little better than me. Tua got a diss track coming for TD. Hey. TD got 24 hours. I have it out in 12 minutes. I had a track 12 minutes. Oh, man. Pharrell Ray jaded. LOL. I'm still trying to figure out what they got to do with the ring, though. Kendrick was trying to help Pharrell because Drake talked about him. TD got this track on. I'm still not understanding the Pharrell reference situation. If that's Pharrell's ring, I don't get what that has to do with anything. One of y'all will be able to explain it better. Drake is. Oh well, let me read these super chats. Let me see this. Don't forget, Common destroyed Drake. Okay, and Drake squashed the beef. A real MC of the craft will beat Drake every time. He's a comical artist, not MC. Oh, well, we'll talk about it. Kendrick said it's deeper than a rap. Said the industry is running a pedal ring and Drake is a part of it. Okay. Drake is doing as best as he can, really showing he belongs, but he can't compete blow for blow like a boxer who cannot go the distance. Kendrick is just at the too good. This coming from a J. Cole fan. So let me address that real quick, Lancelot. I kind of disagree about the blow for blow. Let me tell you why. When Kendrick dropped, right, and they said Drake is done, Drake dropped. Oh my gosh, Kendrick is done. The whole drop, give me 50, right? Whatever that was with the Tupac and Snoop, which I thought was creative as well. People wanted to get in their feelings about the AI use of Tupac not being here, but it was genius. It was a play on the simple fact that these are your idols. I saw the art in that. And all of a sudden, Kendrick is done. Kendrick responded, Drake is done. There's no coming. Now remember, before Drake dropped this, there was no coming back for Drake. Now, take the fact that Kendrick dropped right after Drake last night out of the equation. When you're listening to Drake's record that he just dropped yesterday, first of all, there's nothing Drake can come back with. He gonna bow out. How is he gonna bow out? All of that crazy stuff. That was Drake's best joint. And immediately, I'm gonna be honest with you. After I heard the one before from Kendrick, I was like, dang, this ain't Meek Mill, bro. How you gonna respond to that? That first one was fire. I saw you. I was there with you. I got you. Yeah, you did your thing. But then when he came back, oh, how you gonna respond? I didn't think he would have had anything. Kendrick, that dude. Kendrick, literally that dude. That's the first thing I thought to myself. Then I heard Drake's drop last night. Gosh, I don't know how he pulled it off, but he just did. Forget the one before. This tops it. He goes 7 minutes, and not only did he not address you for 4 minutes of the song, but he hit Ricky, he hit ASAP, he hit this, he hit that, which is another thing. He fighting on all fronts and holding his own. It ain't just a fight to fight. Everybody think you're gonna lose and you holding your own. You fighting on all fronts and you destroying everybody and you holding your own with Kendrick, right? Or is Kendrick holding his own with Drake? See, that's the argument, right? Because, well, Kendrick is a real lyricist. And when I heard what I heard last night from Drake, I realized, dang, he's a better lyricist than I thought he was. I ain't never really put no respect on Drake. I just thought he was an industry guy too, making jingles and having fun. Yeah, I can hear the bars on his stuff, here and there, his regular stuff that he giving it to his people. I hear the bars, but okay. But when I heard the one last night, I was like, dang, he a better lyricist than I thought. I ain't never give him this kind of respect. Kendrick dropped right after. Yeah, it was bars, but it was more so the take of him talking to his family and saying just general stuff about, sorry that your dad's this and sorry that shots that way. It was more so for the drama of it, like, ooh, 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 but not the lyricist stuff of it. The one last night for Kendrick was more of the angle he took more than anything. Talking to your mama, talking to your son, talking to your daughter. It was really about the angle. But what Drake dropped, the lyricism in it and how he hit everybody. And let me tell you another thing. The reason why I realized Drake is that dude lyrically now, because what Drake is doing in this battle, he's actually not only, yeah. All right, now close that. He's not only taking it on all fronts, but he's giving it back. But what he's actually doing, he's addressing a lot of the things that are true and false in his lyrics when he bring them back. Like, like things Kendrick has said, he'll reply, you said this, I got robbed, but then this and that. Then he hit him back with it. Then talk about the contract dispute. His first contract was $400 million, and that's light work these days, which is verified. Birdman actually said he paid him $400 to $500 million, and that was like 4 years ago when Birdman said that. And Drake's first contract was $400 million, and he verified that. So everything that Kendrick is like hitting him with, other than his subjection of women, because one thing I realized, Drake don't respond to the stuff that's true. Okay, it's true. But the stuff that's disputed, he's in his lyrics, he's responding to them. I'm getting a real battle from Drake from a standpoint of, he said that about you. Oh, that's your response to it. Kendrick just keep on pushing him on the same topics and flipping it up on how he doing it in a creative way. That's what I'm getting out of it. And it's masterful. It's very artful what Kendrick is doing. But Drake is actually battling the substance of what's being said. He's coming back and forth with the stuff that he's actually saying. Like, oh, you said this, well, this and that. Oh, man, like, that's what battle rap is. And throwing your jabs and stuff at the same time. That's what I'm getting out of all of this. That's what I'm getting out of this. Birdman ain't got no $400 million to give anybody. Well, you got to educate yourself on that. Like I said, I'm a Wayne fan, and I understood that Birdman had over $1 billion from Universal Music Group. Remember, he was the first, even though Master P, I think, did it, but Birdman was the first record label owner that owned all the masters. And he only had a distribution deal with Universal. So you know how you sell a record that costs $20 and your label, whatever, gets like $4 of it? Nah, Birdman was getting about 18. He was getting about 18. And you had to sell, and this is from music execs, like high up music exec interviews. You had to sell 5 times anything that Cash Money did just to make the money that they were making. Birdman paid Drake $400+ million. He paid Wayne over $500 million over time, and he paid Nicki over $300 million. Universal signed over $1 billion deal with Cash Money Records, a distribution deal. Over $1 billion. A lot of people don't know that story of how it worked. Him losing his mansion, I don't know how all of that is playing out, but what I do know with wealthy people, see, this is the crazy thing. What you think is their misfortune could be their fortune. Wealthy people, they don't care about, like wealthy people lose mansions all the time. Wealthy people lose things all the time. Like, you even talk about the previous president. Oh, he went bankrupt. And he tell you that makes me smart. And y'all look at him like, that's dumb. No, if you understand money, they're wealthy people play the game. That's why they stay wealthy, and they'll always be wealthy. And what I mean by that, even in that scenario, like a wealthy person to have $600 million in debt and pay $0 of their own money. The law says since all their money is actually in a corporation, not them. They have a corporation. They could say, hey, I don't have any money. Well, you got a company that's worth $1 billion. What you mean you don't have the 200 million to pay us? Oh, that ain't my money. That's the company's money. And they file bankruptcy. And guess what? They get to keep all their money. they walk away from a house that they don't want to deal with no more and put it under bankruptcy or whatever. As long as yeah, I ain't got the money. My corporation do. Or they'll have a low-end corporation that ain't got no money. Oh, the corporation own that house. That corporation ain't got no money. The wealthy people get over all the time that way. So people don't understand that. But Universal Group has confirmed they've literally had deals worth billions of dollars with Cash Money Records. And all of them have confirmed the type of money that they made on the deal. That's why everybody, when they were mad that Birdman don't pay nobody, you got to go back and do the research. Birdman was ignorant when he first came in the game. He was selling records, getting record money. He didn't know anything about publishing. You know, that publishing money that nobody knows about, but the only reason nobody knew about it is because the record company always owned publishing. See, nobody could wisen him or teach him because he was the first person to own his masters in that regard. And he didn't know that owning your own masters mean that you own all your publishing and everything. So when he went back, when they all found out together, hold on, publishing, what do you mean publishing? I got money out there that I don't even know about? Yes, you do. You got hundreds of $1 million that you never recouped because you never went for your royalties or publishing. So when they went for the royalty and publishing, all the artists found out, oh, you owe all us more money. And Birdman like, what do you mean? You were under contract. I paid you every penny. Yeah, but this and that. So as he was realizing he was cut short, he had to wait several years to recoup all his publishing and stuff. And they were disgruntled in the meanwhile. Well, I want my money. And eventually he settled with all of them. Okay, he owed Wayne probably over $100 million in publishing, but he settled with him for like $50 million when he got his money from publishing and all of that. So that's the backdrop of all of that in the music industry that a lot of people don't know about. That's what happened in that situation. They didn't even know that they owned their royalties and publishing. They just were like, yeah, I got my masters, but they didn't know. They didn't know how much money they weren't recouping that was being made out there on their name. So that's the backstory of that. But anyway, so him not having 400 million to give Drake, they all signed them deals. Birdman said this is like a forever deal, and when the time comes, we're gonna re-it up. So he did get his $400 million. You think Drake got all, like, if you sign to a label and they paying you per thing you do and stuff or whatever, you think Drake gonna be able to be around here doing the things he doing? Spending the money he's spending? Most of these rappers are broke. Them three ain't broke. That's for sure. No question about it. But that's the backstory on that. So they have the money. And Birdman's still living a lavish life in his other mansions. So it's easy to put the narrative out there when you're battling to say something that people don't know the details behind, and you're like, ooh. So that's one thing nobody can actually do. And Kendrick tried, but he shouldn't. You can't talk about the money aspect when it comes to Drake. And he actually didn't talk about the money aspect. What Kendrick did is said, you signed to you want to talk about splits, show me yours and I'll show you mine. When Drake didn't have a split, Drake just got a $400 lump sum, literally. Trust me, I know. I remember when it happened, literally like 8 years ago when that happened. He just got a $400 million contract. So, and again, everybody work off splits except the guys over there because they own everything. They could just pay you straight up to be on the team. So, yeah, and I'm sure Drake has made billions for the company as well. So, yeah, but yeah, that's that piece of it. So, my whole thing is all of this back and forth with like I ain't gonna lie, I'm hearing some blatant lies in some of this. I'm hearing some lies in some of it. But I'm also seeing that Drake is in the ring and he actually sparring though. He's actually sparring. So I actually got to put more respect on Drake's name because I didn't think he lyrically, I thought he was going to be done. Now, here's the thing. When Kendrick dropped, here's what people need to realize. When Kendrick just dropped right after Drake, at what point do you learn? I'm talking about the fans. At what point do you learn? Because when Kendrick dropped his first one, Drake is dead. Drake came back and dropped his. Oh my God, Kendrick's dead. Drake dropped his last night. Oh, Kendrick's dead. Oh, ain't no coming back for this. Kendrick dropped right after him. Oh, Drake's dead. Why he talk about who dead? Sit back and wait. You get like you're always gonna run off the hype of who the last person was. And let me tell you what's happening in this battle. The first one Kendrick dropped, all his people, Drake is dead. The people that love Drake, they were quiet. So all the polls, Kendrick done murdered them. Drake ain't gonna respond. Everybody say Kendrick done killed Drake just now. When Drake dropped his, oh my gosh, he just responded and he killed Kendrick. Kendrick fans went quiet. Drake fans got up and were like, oh, it's over. You see what's happening here? Kendrick came back again. Same thing happened. Ain't no recovering from this. Drake dropped again last night. Immediately, oh my gosh, ain't no recovering from this. This man just rapped 7 minutes and he was hitting everybody and destroying Kendrick. He gave new stuff, the domestic stuff, all like he giving you new stuff and everything, lyricism, everything. I didn't think Drake could respond to Kendrick's last one. I didn't even think it was possible, but he did it. If Kendrick didn't drop this morning, everybody would be saying Kendrick is done. But Kendrick dropped right away, and now right back again. Oh, but he hit him right back. He hit him right back. So let me say this. Q, I'm used to that. I've seen, like I said, I've already explained at the beginning of the stream, I don't care for either rapper. I'm not a fan of either one. So I'm coming with an unbiased opinion. But I've seen in all the blogs all morning, if you say anything good about Drake, you're a Drake stan. If you say anything good about Kendrick, you're a Kendrick stan. So I ain't worrying about people thinking that I'm biased one way or the other. That's going to happen anyway. People going to think I'm biased one way or the other. I can care less at this point. Okay. But here's what I would tell you. The best track that I've heard so far out of all of them was Drake's drop last night. The second best one that I heard out of all of them was Kendrick's drop before Drake's drop, the last one. The third best one I heard was Kendrick's last night. And the fourth best was Kendrick's initial one before the Drake's or whatever. So I got the order of the best tracks: Drake, Kendrick, Drake. At the 4 best tracks that I've heard so far. You could agree, disagree, but once again, if you want to break down into the lyrics or whatever, you got to tell me which one out of all of them was better than what Drake dropped last night. You got to tell me out of all of them which was better than the one Drake dropped last night. Yeah, Chris Brown out here eating too. I ain't gonna lie. Tell me which one was better than Drake's drop last night. I ain't listening to none. Probably still won't. It's just a time-consuming thing. For people who love this type of culture. That's all. I usually don't get into it either, but I went back and listened to it all just to see because people were asking me my thoughts. Euphoria is the best diss so far out of this battle. Tell me why. It was up there, but remember, I got that my number 2. But I'm gonna tell you now, Drake's Last Night was better than Euphoria. Drake's Last Night was better than Euphoria. That's why I got Euphoria number 2. And then Kendrick's Last Night was number 3, and Drake's first one with the AI was number 4 for me. Family Matters is hard and had visuals. Yeah, and I didn't even get into the visuals, but the visuals painted the picture and showed you, because here's what a lot of people don't realize. I'm a lyric guy. I'm a flow and lyric guy. I don't care that you say some basic stuff that rhyme. I pay attention to your flow, delivery, and the lyrics. First of all, you got to be able to understand what both of them are saying, line for line, bar for bar. Some people listen and a rapper will say something, they don't know what it means. They just keep it moving. They don't know. But it could have been the most genius thing ever. And that's the problem. Some people can't even decipher every single line that's being said. And what I heard from Drake's track last night, you ain't miss a line. You didn't miss a line. Like, people, I already know it was certain things people didn't even understand. I already know it was. Same thing with Kendrick. There's several things I know people didn't understand. So, and I'm gonna tell you now, 90% of the people listening don't capture every line. You got to stop that thing bar for bar, put it together, tie it in, and make it make sense. Anything that don't make sense, you got to keep looking until it does. And if it never do, you either minus that or you add somebody. You add somebody. But one of the main reasons why last night's was Drake drop was the best one out of all of them to me is because he didn't only throw shots, he responded to shots and flipped them around. That's the essence of battle. But what people are doing is this. They'll take something one artist says about another. Ooh, then that artist will clarify how it's either a lie or that it's a lie and flip it back, but they still give credit for it being said from the previous artist. See, me, I'm listening word for word for what they're saying. If you debunk something the other guy said, then I go listen to that track and say, oh, that's what made it even harder, but that ain't even real. That's what people are not doing. If that's the case, anybody can get out here and drop some bars and lie on people. That's the easy part. Or they can make something seem a way to make you look bad. And for me, the only thing Kendrick making Drake look bad at is the fatherhood stuff, because of what happened with Drake in the beginning with his son. That's the only thing he doing to make him look bad. Outside of that, all that other stuff, you just got to take like the whole Drake standing next to other people looking pretty and kind of like, sus or whatever it may be. Come on, we all know what time it is. That's just them bars. Just like when Drake said, and then Drake flips it around, right? And say they only play, I forgot which song it is, at clubs where guys got more pride or whatever. And only play your songs in clubs where guys got more pride, and then something about going to Atlanta for a tour guide or whatever. But we all know what that means. But at the end of the day, you see the flip on it? This is the stuff people not recognizing in none of it. So when I listen to Kendrick, I'm waiting on the new stuff. The one thing I give Kendrick credit for, even though he recycling the things that he coming at him with, He's doing it in a creative way that's new every time. He's doing it in a new creative way. But I feel like Drake is adding on as he continues to go. He's adding on. So that's just my take on it. I think the best track out of all of them was Drake's drop last night. The second best one was Kendrick's before that. And then last night, Kendrick, and then Drake's the one with Snoop and them. So that's what I got on it. Used Ferrari giving a horse ride. Yeah, I heard that. He accusing Kendrick Lamar of buying all these gangsters chains to feel more, whatever. But yeah. What you think about Sexy Red, TD? I don't think about her. That's the best answer I can give you. Talking to your opponent's child is different. Yeah. Like I just told you, the way he's presenting the same information is creative. It's different. It's cynical. All of that good stuff, right? But what's the next one gonna be? If Drake responds in 5 years, I don't care when he responds tomorrow. What's the next one gonna be from Kendrick? Well, your son is blah blah blah, and I hope that you like what? Like that's all I'm saying here. We haven't gotten a switch up. We haven't gotten any switch up or anything like that, anything new. He's just creatively doing it, and a lot of people don't like Drake, and they're like, ooh, like anything you can say bad about Drake, they rave about it. And I don't care for Drake, but I'm noticing that. See, this is what you see when you're unbiased. You sit back and you start to evaluate, and it's not about Drake and Kendrick. You sit back and watch the responses from the fans. And what I'm getting is a lot of people just don't like Drake. You'll discredit anything he say and amplify anything Kendrick says. He's recycling the same points, just trying to switch up the creativity of how we do it. That's what we're getting. But if Drake responds tomorrow, what do you think the next track with Kendrick's going to be? Some about his kids, some about his six-pack, and young girls. Like, that's the reality. And again, I'm waiting to see about this daughter situation. I'm telling you now, if the daughter situation ain't real, then Kendrick takes a major L, because that was the only thing that was new. There was a revelation that made you feel like, oh, okay, he coming. Like, but if that ain't real, then what new did he do other than talk to them about their dad instead of talking about their dad? You see what I'm saying? Again, creative to present to people a different way. It's a creative way to present the art to people, but it's not different. It's a different way of doing the same thing. That's all. That's how I see it. What about the pedo allegations? We need stuff that aren't allegations. We listen to the allegations, but again, Kendrick that's why Drake will be at a disadvantage. Say it's not true or whatever it may be. At the end of the day, we live in a society that an allegation is good as guilt. An allegation is as good as guilt. So when you hear it in your ears, you take it as the gospel and be like, "Ooh, man." And I can run with all that. But again, remember I told you, I'm listening to both of them, and I'm looking for them addressing the things that the other person said. That's real battle rap. Not only attacking the person, but addressing what they said about you and flipping it. And when I hear Drake say this one line, and that's all I needed to hear, because I agree. I can't be doing this if you ain't got receipts. You making up all these lies with the receipts. I don't know if they lies. They could be true. But if you ain't got receipts and the man saying that it's not true, then what you want me to do? Just automatically give the point to the person who made the allegation? That's what I'm trying to realize. Like, I know I'm making common sense here. Some people may not want to hear it because that tells you whose side they're on, but I ain't on nobody's side. So when he says in his lyrics, you say that I'm like calling me a snitch, but where the paperwork? If we ain't got no paperwork, what are you doing? Can't respond to the allegations that you ain't got no paperwork to. And he said something else. I don't remember that on the back end of that. That was pretty clever too. Yeah. And then I ain't got no proof of this either, but there's substance out there that suggests that it might be true. He said, you say I'm snitching, you ain't got no paperwork, but you called Tupac Estate to sue me to shut the song down. I ain't saying Kendrick call him, but they did shut him down. So at least there's like there's a trail of evidence. Still don't prove it's true, but at least Drake giving you stuff that has a trail of evidence. That's all I'm saying. I'll tell you who up right now, Ricky Ross. Man, I ain't gonna lie. Drake buried Ross with that. He gave him two references. The old job reference, but the other one, reading my Miranda rights. I ain't gonna lie, I had to pause and back that up. Like, man, read my Miranda rights. That there, man. Wayne told RR to chill. Who is RR? Oh, Rose. Did he say that? Did he say Wayne reached out? I don't think so. Because Wayne don't get in this stuff. Lil Wayne don't get in this stuff. He don't get into rap beefs. 50 tried to start a rap beef with Wayne. And Wayne responded with 2 bars, and that was it. He stopped. Eminem's tried to start a rap beef with Wayne. But M stopped because he admitted to everybody that he was jealous of Wayne at the time. But Wayne don't get into rap beefs. He didn't even respond to Eminem's thing. He don't get into rap beefs. He made it clear, I don't get into all of that stuff. Every artist out here would destroy me. That was his stance on it. Yeah, but the reality is he's not gonna waste his time. He's not gonna waste his time. He hold on, y'all. Give me a second. The wife calling. That's cool. All right, yeah. But yeah, he don't get into that stuff. So I doubt Wayne even got into it enough to tell Rick Ross to chill. I even doubt that. He there's different levels to this. And Wayne probably wouldn't engage himself in it because he got this, he's grown to have this complex to where I'm not playing with you, but I bet you if you paid him $100 million, he'll put a whole album on somebody in a week. Nobody ever did that, but I can guarantee you, the type of person he is, give me $100 million. I'll do a whole album diss track on somebody in a week. A week, I have 17 tracks, every one of them clipped and loaded. That's how he is. You can't drag him into no battle, but if somebody, an investor came and was like, I give you $100 million to get, man, that's the rule. I know who he is. He's forever told you, I don't do nothing for free. He looked down on people that's doing this, honestly. That's just his demeanor. So, yeah, it's levels to it. It's levels to it. Yeah, he took shots at Birdman over $100 million. Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, he was. Hey, when you go back and listen to that Sorry for the Wait, I forgot which number. Yeah, every track had a shot at him. Birdman, I clip your wings, all in it, every references all day. And you could just tell, low key, he can really come at people, but he choose not to. But it was over $100 million. So I told you, $100 million, he'll go at anybody. Because he always told you it's about this money. If you doing this in this game and it ain't about money, then what are you doing? That's why he tell them guys, like people, that's one thing I do appreciate about Wayne, though. He not what everybody think he is. When he was young, yeah, he was out there on the corner and all of that, but that was just a little boy. He never was this, gang member that was out there on the streets doing this and doing that. Yeah, he affiliated, but at the same token, he tells you in his music, he turned the studio into the trap house mentally. So when he references stuff like that, he's speaking really about the studio. He converts everything in his life to his trap and his blah, 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 being the studio. So, and he lived in it. He lived in it. So go at 8 p.m. and leave at like 10 in the morning. Every day, go home, go to sleep, do it again. So it's different levels to this, man. Totally different levels to it. But yeah, like I said, I don't think this is going to expand. I don't think it's going to get like anybody coming to anybody defense. This is a heavyweight bout right now. But I think people need to stop all these immediate reactions no, you can immediately react, but stop saying, oh, he's murdered. Oh, he's murdered. Oh, he's murdered. Y'all just keep saying that back and forth. There's no coming back from this. There's no coming back from this. There's no coming back. Stop. Kendrick dropped his next one right after Drake. You sit that one on the shelf. You know what it is. Wait on Drake's next one, and you see where it fares. You see where it fares. But that's not what's happening. People are trying to pile on Drake, I believe. I think that overall, if you look at it objectively, Drake actually, in my opinion, has the edge in this so far. From a fan favorite standpoint, he's losing because there's more Drake haters than Drake lovers. And that alone makes you win. That alone makes you a winner. There are more Drake haters than there are Drake supporters. And that alone makes you a winner. Let that sink in. So the one thing that I realized, whether it's politics, whether it's stuff like this, you like who you like. You're going to justify their victory no matter what. And there are more Drake haters than there are Drake lovers. And that comes from the syndrome of Drake being on the top for so long. And anybody that you ever dreamt of liking, he's probably done better than them, done more than them. And I'm going to be honest with you. At the end of the day, Kendrick is his son. Now, Kendrick has to win this when it's all said and done, just to stay up there. Let me tell you why, because the evidence is out there of Kendrick. I'm happy Drake brought us on tour, letting us come on the tour. I look up to guys like Drake, the great, like the videos out there of him being a nobody and Drake bringing him on tour, letting people know who he is. He's a son. Now he's a son that's rebelling and trying to become the man of his own, even though he's already a man of his own. From a talent standpoint, Kendrick, that dude. There ain't no questioning that. But when you want to talk about levels to it, he got to get he's doing the right thing. He got to get from under that son umbrella. He ain't in an umbrella like he likes Drake or they can fight or like Drake and Wayne. You see, it ain't like that. But I'm talking about people will always view you as his son until you do something like what you're doing right now, but you got to win on the back end. You got to win. When it's all said and done, when nobody else coming at each other, when the beef squashed or when y'all call a truce, you have to win this. You have to win this. Because if you don't win this, you're going to immortalize Drake forever. It don't matter if Drake lose battles. He'll be immortalized forever. And if you lose this, people still going to respect you because you got a fan base and they're going to respect everything. And some people still going to say you won. But deep down, bro, you got to win this. You have to win this. So what I want people to know is it's not over. We thought it was over after Kendrick dropped the one after Drake last time. We thought it was over. And then we thought it was over when Drake dropped. So we got to stop there. Oh, he did. Ain't no coming back from it. Man, this is hip hop. These guys do this for a living. And obviously both of them show by now they can stand in the ring together. Let's see what happens. We ain't in nothing but the fourth round. This ain't nothing but the fourth round. And everybody keep talking about over. This ain't no Meek Mill. This ain't no Rick Ross. This is a heavyweight belt. So let it play out. But all this back and forth, oh, he got him. That's it for him. Stop. Like, at this point, nobody should be saying that about either of them. But what I will say is Drake got to respond with his greatest on this one. And that's going to do it, in my opinion. But if he don't come back harder than he did on all of them, which is going to be hard, I didn't even think Drake had this last one in him. I did not think he had that in him at all. I'm like, how is Drake going to respond to this? How you going to respond to this? And he did it the right way. Don't run from the things he said that was right. But let's go. And Kendrick responded again, which was good. It was great. It was a great move by Kendrick right after, right? Get people to like muddy. Like if Kendrick didn't drop last night, man, people would be looking sick in their face for a week. But what Kendrick did is drop right away to muddy how you felt about Drake's album anyway, especially for the people that don't like Drake regardless. Because the people that don't like Drake, they would have listened to the one last night, and as it would have soaked in for 2-3 days, they would have been in their feelings. I see it all in the comment section. I know they would have. But since Kendrick responded right away, because he had it ready, by the way, Kendrick probably had a few ready to hurry up and drop it, but it kind of diluted how people looked at Drake's. But go back and listen to Drake's. Ain't no better one in this battle so far than the one Drake dropped last night. And Kendrick's drop before the one last night was better than the one he did last night. So I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, I got Drake with the bare edge. It ain't even a pull off. It barely has the edge overall for multiple reasons. He's accelerating it with different stuff, with new stuff. And also he's hitting people on all fronts at the same time. And he's also addressing the things that Kendrick's saying. Kendrick ain't addressing nothing Drake really saying. Kendrick just keep talking about his kids and all in his stomach. That's all. Over and over. So I'm looking for, even though it's too late now because Kendrick done already dropped another one. So we got to wait on Drake's next drop. And then I'm looking for Kendrick to up the ante and say something outside of the kids and how he is as a womanizer, like all of them are. That's the culture. Nobody looking at that crazy out here the way they are. They only making it seem bad because they don't like Drake. I mean, it's bad to me, but the culture don't care. Truthfully, that's what's happening. So, yeah, man, that's my take on it. Don't make me right. It doesn't make me right. But from an unbiased standpoint, that's what I'm getting out of it. It does not make me right. Okay. So for all y'all who may be in your feelings for me even saying that, it doesn't make me right. If you disagree with me, you're probably right. You see how that works? It does not make me right. But those are the reasons I feel that Drake actually has the slight edge right now. He fighting 10 guys at once. He holding toe-to-toe with every single one of them. Some of them he murdering. He toe-to-toe with Kendrick Lamar. And they going back and forth. This is a fight. And they both in it. Nobody knocked nobody out. Every time we think somebody knocked somebody out, no, they didn't. Oh, well, Drake just got knocked out. He didn't. He said, like, people think the last night for Kendrick was a knockout. How you gonna knock me out with something that you've been saying? You just talking to my kids now. You just talking to them. How is that a knockout? And somebody say K-Dot kept it direct. That's the most indirect you can be. You're not addressing me about me. You did the first time, but the second time, you're indirectly talking to my kids about me. That's not keeping it direct. This is a rap battle. We want new. We want something fresh. Now, the way you did it was fresh, but that ain't direct to Drake. That's indirect. Now, the creativity, I give you an A+ for, because that's creative. You know, the person you were in talking to the kids about the dad throwing shots. TD don't get it. I do get it. I just, once again, I get it. I said the creativity of doing that. What do you like? This is what I'm trying to understand. I get the creativity of talking to the kids about him. But what was new other than talking to the kids? So stop saying I don't get it. I get A+ creativity talking to the kids about him. But what was the actual new substance other than the daughter that has been denied, but we'll wait and see. That's all I'm saying. What was new? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Drake giving you new. And he not saying, even the new stuff Drake giving of Kendrick kid may not even be his. He's at least people are like, well, that's a lot. Well, we don't know. And Drake also said, from what I've heard, at least he didn't say it was. Kendrick got here saying, you got a daughter hidden. Not, I heard you got a daughter hidden. See, that's the difference. Domestic violence on your girlfriend that you engaged to 15 years ago. I mean, in 2015, not 15 years ago. But again, I keep asking y'all, if you engaged to a 2015, what's going on in that situation? What happened? I'm just curious. I actually do want to know. Joshua, you came in here late. I said you got to keep that with he said to the side because yeah, he denied his son too. So I said you got to keep that to the side and wait and see about the daughter. Drake saying I heard is on rumors. He telling you it's a rumor. See, that's the difference. Y'all get that just like me. When I talk Dolphins talk, y'all get mad at me when I tell you something is a rumor because I'm telling you it's a rumor, but you trying to make it seem like I told you that was happening. At least I'm telling you it's a rumor. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to bring a point up about somebody that you heard from somebody, present it as a rumor. And that's what Drake did. But K-Dot is presenting a rumor as a fact, unless he got the receipts. In which Drake keep asking, all this stuff you keep saying about me, bro, can you please get the people the receipts? Because, and I know why Drake did that in the rap. Because Drake, obviously, he's full of himself. He reads the comment sections. He see people going crazy over things that are probably lies. And this is why everybody like, oh, he killing Drake. When you see somebody beating you at your game by using lies, that's why he put that in his rap. I know it. That's why he said all of these allegations and stuff you saying, can you give the people the receipts? Can you please give them the receipts? Because people are moved off of even a lie if they want to see you taken down. Because let me ask you this question right now. If it comes out Drake doesn't have a daughter, okay? If it comes out that he didn't, quote unquote, get surgery, right? And he's already admitted that he takes Ozempic, by the way, which a lot of people do now in the industry. A lot of people in every field. If all the things Drake said is a lie, is it going to change your stance that Kendrick is losing? Like if those things that Kendrick said is a lie, is Kendrick losing to Drake? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. Watch this, y'all. If those things that Kendrick said is not true, are you going to say that Kendrick is losing? Yes or no? Yes or no? Are you going to say Kendrick is losing? Yes or no? It's taking a while for some people to answer. Usually it'll be flooded. No, it's a battle rap, TD. No, see, I disagree with you. Yeah, that's the problem. Y'all losing the integrity of battle rap. Y'all allowing people to tell lies to win. No, that ain't how it works. That ain't how it works. That is crazy to me. I got 343 people who voted on who's winning, but I probably got 10 people to answer the question I just had right now. That tell you all you need to know. That tell you all you need to know. Some people don't want to answer that question. That tells you everything you need to know right now, even in our chat. I asked a simple question. If he ain't got a daughter and he ain't get the stomach surgery, whatever, his choice, whatever, is Kendrick losing? Yes or no? Nobody want to answer. Like, I could put a poll up right now that says Kendrick winning, yes or no. I bet y'all get 200 votes instantly. But I asked that one question and I got 10 responses in the chat. That tells you all you need to know. That's why the polls say 73% Kendrick winning and 27% Drake. Not that some of y'all don't think Kendrick ain't winning. Yeah, some of y'all probably truly believe it regardless, even if. But why couldn't you answer that question? Because a lot of y'all are Kendrick fans. Like I said earlier, there are a lot more Drake haters than Drake fans watching this go down. And this ain't my biasness. I can care less about either of them. But what I notice in the comment section, when I see Drake score a point, you should see how many people try to wipe that point out with whatever justification. I see Kendrick score a point. You should see how many people amplify it. So I already told you at the beginning of this, Drake's already at a disadvantage. But just being in the ring, going toe-to-toe with all these people that don't like him, wanting to see him fail, it's making him win even more. So like I said, there's more Drake haters than there are Drake supporters. And for that alone, he's already winning. And a lot of y'all won't understand that because you don't want to hear anything consistent with him winning. You don't want to. You do not want him to win this. Some of y'all are knowing right now, deep down inside, yeah, I don't like him. And for whatever reason Kendrick Lamar gave you not to. Well, I don't like how he, do women. You weren't thinking about how he did women until he started talking about how he did women. Well, I don't like how he treated his son. You didn't care much until you find out about it. A lot of people want to see him go down because he's been on top for so long. It's normal. You ain't got to feel crazy about it. You ain't got to get mad at TD for disagreeing or saying this. It's normal. It's normal. It's a human behavior that's in majority of humans. It is normal. The guy at the top of the mountain, at some point you want to see him fall and you want it to be grand. And you got a face that Mike can do it. Oh man, come on. Like it's in human behavior. Not everybody's human behavior, but majority of humans, it's for some reason, it's a part of our character. We want to see it. We want to see it happen. That's what I'm getting out of all of this. That's all I can take from it, from an unbiased standpoint. And people are gonna be like, no, you biased. Take with it what you want. But that's what I'm getting out of this. I studied human behavior. My little itty bitty minor in psychology, this is what I do. I study human behavior. I study the things people actually say. But yeah, that's my belief on this whole thing. And it's gonna get a lot worse before it get better. And all I'm saying to you going forward in the future in this battle, Kendrick gotta give us something new about what he's talking about. Drake looked like he could just keep throwing jabs seamlessly about this, that, and this. This, and like when Drake dropped the first one, all those short references, I'm like, is he just gonna keep doing that? The last one, he probably had 2 of them, but then they were crazily creative too. But he had all kind of other stuff too. So whether you like Drake or not, go listen to the one he dropped last night, bar for bar. And what you don't understand, go figure it out, because it's actually the best song out of any of they drops. And if you don't like Kendrick, go listen to the one Euphoria, not the one last night. You can listen to that later, but go listen to Euphoria and you'll see how masterful that one is too. But it's not better than the one Drake did last night. See, they keep one-upping each other. They keep one-upping. And the one last night, it wasn't a one-up on Drake's one last night, but the timing is going to make people feel like it's a one-up because it's the same material other than the daughter. It's the same material other than the daughter. So, yeah. Anyway, man, I'm finna get up out of here. That's my take on it for those people that was asking me on Twitter. I usually don't do this on this channel, but yeah. But yeah, let me see. Let me read this super chat. Kendrick dropped 3 diss tracks in 5 days. If they were on Drake, I want you to take a sheet of paper and write down each of the diss tracks. And I want you to write down the subject of each one, subject of the next one, subjects of the next one. Anything that loops, cross it out. And tell me how many new things you got on there. Do the same thing with Drake's. Write down his drop, and his drop. Anything that loops, cross it out. Tell me who got more stuff on there. And then that might show y'all, I guess, where I'm coming from. Okay. Recycle stuff over and over and over. It's all good in a new way. But, you know, you got to come with it. You got to have the next thing that's, you know, but hey, this is why you can't drop all the tea at once. This is why, and I'm still worrying about this mystery thing that Drake keep claiming that he got, and Drake keep claiming that Kendrick team be reaching out saying, don't say this and don't make sure you don't say this. Like some fear about something he knows that he shouldn't say, or so I'm still, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Things are going over your head with Kendrick, and it's obvious. It's not. Because you ain't tell me, you see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the simple-minded stuff. Things going over your head that is clear you don't see. You got to name the thing. And then I could tell you, oh, man, you're right. I didn't catch that. But that's not going to happen because I actually, I'm an individual who studies lyrics. So is there something that may have went over my head? Possible. But I ain't referenced nothing on this show that you can say, hey, this went over your head, because you would have been very specific. You'd have been very specific about what went over my head. So when you say things went over my head, you got to tell me what. TD, this went over your head. And I'm pretty confident I'll be able to tell you, no, it didn't. This is what it means. This is what he was referring to. And 9 times out of 10 on Kendrick tracks, but I've heard that even on this song, he said that. I've heard it. I know that already. I'm looking for stuff that wows me like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, now I wonder that. See, another problem is this is where Kendrick didn't one up Drake on this last one. Because when you talking to the son and the daughter and the mama, you're using general stuff. Your son's a bad son. People like him, I wish was not here. And this is just regular talk. Again, y'all letting the fact that he was talking to the other people carry it. This normal bars. So, sorry, your dad, this and that. Maybe let me help you. I can be your mentor and all this. This is regular talk. Regular talk. Q said TD doing my comment. I didn't. When he addressed Adonis, TD, how did that go over my head? He addressed Adonis. How did that go over my head? Something that we all know about Adonis, but even from way back. Sorry that your dad wasn't there. Sorry he disowned you. We all know this. Like in a rap beef, you gotta give me something like we're looking for stuff. Like you get away with it the first time. You get away with it bringing it up the first time. But the second and third, okay, we know. He was not a great father figure coming in. We know that. And we don't know what's going on now, but we know this. So that's what I'm saying. This stuff ain't going over my head. Just saying, bro. This is what I mean by we need new stuff, like and creative new stuff. It was creative talking to Adonis. Sorry, but your dad is this, your dad is that. You should take out the man like me. Don't take out, you're gonna be a king and all of that. This is just normal talk. But we're all caught up on the fact that he was talking to the son. Oh, that's the major troll. It is. It's very creative, too. So again, I'm a study of I study lyrics, bro. I study lyrics. Because I love the art of hip-hop. I don't love the message all the time, but I listen to it to understand how a person paints the picture. He got pictures of his man's meds. Drake in his track before that admitted to Ozempic. He even said a bar about the side effects are something on you dudes or whatever, taking a poop on you or something or whatever. He admitted to it before you dropped it, before you even dropped it. See, this is the problem with K-Dot already having it ready. You see what I'm saying? So again, y'all can keep bringing lyrics up that he said, but again, tell me what's new that Drake ain't okay with. Why pulling a Drake TD cap? Pulling a Drake. I ain't pulling it. I don't know what you mean by pulling a Drake. He didn't admit to it. The man literally said in his last song, my Ozempic side effects or whatever. He literally said it. Once again, you're not listening to the lyrics. You're probably not even giving Drake track a fair shot to listen to all the lyrics. Because if you didn't hear him basically saying his Ozempic side effects, and then he went in on somebody about it, if you didn't hear it, so I'm just saying. Yeah, he was talking about Ross, but Ross was also mentioning that or whatever. Ross was also mentioning with his weight loss with the abs and all of that. Go watch the React channel CD. I think he was talking about Ross. Yeah, Ross was mentioning his abs and things like that. So he was talking about Ozempic. And then Kendrick started talking about showing the Ozempic bottle. Like, don't cut corners like your dad or whatever. But Drake literally brought up Ozempic. I don't think he was talking about Ross using Ozempic. I think he was more so talking about the fact that, yeah, my Ozempic side effects. That's what he said, my Ozempic side effects. And even if he was talking to Ross, he's admitting it right there. Anyway, the wife called and I got to go. Y'all get me in trouble. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. We can talk more about it later. I'll see y'all soon. Peace. I'm out.